type 2 diabetes is 90 to 95% preventable, reversible, and curable with the right nutrition. And so if you think about that, we have 34.5 million Americans being treated for type 2 diabetes, and we have another 98 million Americans that are pre-diabetic. So roughly a third of our population has or will deal with diabetes. With Youtopia, it's just one of many diseases, will virtually disappear. 90 to 95% of it will be gone.
Welcome to American Dreams. My guest today is Ken Neuman. Ken, welcome to today's show.
Thanks, Alan, and such a pleasure to be here, and certainly adore the work you're doing and love your new book, My Path.
Well, thank you, Ken. You know, it's our journey in life is not the same for any two of us. We each are going to have our own path in life, and as we visit today, I like to talk about some of the things that you've got through in your life to get to where you are today. So maybe help us understand how your journey's gone so far.
Well, Alan, my life, I feel really very much at peace and joy, richly blessed, but my journey's been full of ups and downs, like I think all of our journeys are in life. My wife and I both started out with really strong families, great family values, great spiritual values. We learned as little kids that, for us, God is first, and we make all of our decisions following God first, our spouse, our family, and others, and loving and caring about others. So those core values, if you will, that are our foundation, have allowed us to get through all those ups and downs of life, because there are certainly many of them. Life's been...
Let me roll back a little bit. How did you meet your wife?
Oh, it's an interesting story. So way back to when I was a little boy, around 5 years old, her family moved in across the parking lot in a little town in southern Wisconsin, moved in across the parking lot. And her dad was a pastor and became pastor of the church. And at about that time, my family moved about 5 miles away, but through some situations that occurred, the pastor of our church had gotten killed in a plane accident. Her dad became pastor of our church and the one where we used to live, if you will. So it was 5 miles. He was an interim pastor for about, 2.5 years. And through those years, our churches, the same basic background, shared a lot of stuff. And like he confirmed my brother and sister and all those kind of things. So, and candidly, way back then, I used to go pheasant hunting with her dad. So, our journey goes almost to the beginning of life, as you will. So,
it's we never know the path, where the path will take us, but every choice and decision we make leads us to a different direction. When you, how long you've been married for now?
Both my wife and I are remarried. We've been married for 21 years.
21.
But our story goes back to when we were little kids. So that's when we got to meet each other, if you will. We took different paths for a while in life. And for us, God brought us back together kind of midway through our lives.
Uh-huh. So when you're looking at your journey and where you're at now, what are you currently working on?
So we're working on a project. Let me go back just a step before that. So we've been made many decisions, traveled many journeys in our life, and been richly, richly blessed in almost every aspect through those times. And found ourselves at this season in our lives saying, well, look, we are so gifted. What is it we can do to continue to love others in a profound way? What is it we can bring to mankind that would really help mankind, recognizing the gifts that God's given us along the way and the talents and capabilities that He's layered on us? See, I see every day that, I feel like, I know that we're all created as a masterpiece, and I feel like every day the potter's working on the clay, as it says in Scripture. So God's been shaping and molding myself, those around us, for this season in life. So today we find ourselves about 5 years into a journey building a company called Youtopia, Youtopia. And in that company, I think the end result of it is a very, very substantial transformation in mankind's history. In that what we do is we aggregate all the knowledge about your unique body and turn that into your daily nutrient needs. So if you think about all 8 billion of us on the planet, we've developed the capabilities to understand exactly what is Alan Olson's optimal daily nutrient needs for his vibrant health and longevity. We then turn that information into 4-star quality meals that show up for you every day ready to eat. So we've made your life very simple, very easy. Imagine if you got up this morning and essentially you had a high-level nutritional scientist and a high-level chef in your house living there that knew your body really, really well, knew what all your food preferences are, what your intolerances were if you have them, knew the health condition of your body, and then prepared a whole selection of meals for you to enjoy without you even thinking about it. That's what Youtopia does, only we do that on a very massive scale because we don't put a nutritionist and a chef in your house, but we've automated that whole process, which what we know as mankind and what all the research and studies shows us is that things like diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is 90 to 95% preventable, reversible, and curable with the right nutrition. And so if you think about that, we have 34.5 million Americans being treated for type 2 diabetes, and we have another 98 million Americans that are pre-diabetic. So roughly a third of our population has or will deal with diabetes. With Youtopia, it's just one of many diseases, will virtually disappear. 90 to 95% of it will be gone. And so this specialization allows my wife, Jean, and I to really pour all the capabilities God's given us with a whole great team of other people into loving and caring about you and bringing all of us together on commonality of being together, loving each other, and sharing great food together.
Ken, walk me through your process, right? Diabetes, type 2 diabetes, as you indicate, a lot of people out there, a lot of people have cures. So I come to you, Ken, and say, hey, I have type 2 diabetes. I want to work with you. What's my next step?
So, Ellen, what we just launched after 5 years of working on this is our alpha location. So it's a physical store location. Think of a restaurant, an amazing drink bar with highly nutritious drinks, and a facility that has what we call a discovery center in it. So what you do is you just simply walk in our store, and you can walk in and sit down and eat food. We've already optimized that around your body to some degree, or enjoy great drinks and those things. So the whole dining refreshment experience. But if you'd like to know more about your body and get closer to your personal daily nutrient needs, you just walk in the store, go to the Discovery Center. In the Discovery Center, there's a whole set of experiences for you. You can select what's important for you. Everybody starts with an experience called the starting line. In the starting line, we're looking at 15 basic functional areas of your body. So we do a pre-diabetic checker, we do a metabolic syndrome checker, an immunity system, a heart and vascular, and so on. So we're checking really a very robust analysis on your body and getting our understanding of where your body's at. Also, that's obviously all your information as well. And then we take that information, push it through our multi-patented nourishment optimization engine to determine your personal daily nutrient needs. And from that, we use that information. We've created some amazing tools for what we call our exponential chefs, who then take your personal daily nutrient needs and turn them into unique food for you that's optimized around your body. So it's really simple. We knew to get this to scale and have a huge impact on mankind. We had to make your life simple and achievable. And so all you do is walk in the store, you walk over in the Discovery Center, everything's handled. We also we don't currently have, we'll also have numerous other experiences like the fertility period. So typically females in the period when they're trying to conceive or them pregnant and then lactating, they have all different nutrient needs during those periods for themselves and the little one. And so there's a fertility period experience. There's a migraine minimizer. So 1 billion people on the planet get migraine headaches. And when you think about that, you're going, well, why is that? What's the cause of that? Well, there's 2 basic nutrients that they're deficient on. And if their body was robust in those nutrients, about 50% of their migraines would be gone. So about half of the population that have a 500 million people would not have migraines anymore. And the other half the population, their migraines would be greatly decreased. Now, it's no guarantee it'll impact every person that gets migraines, but that's what the science and the studies show. So the migraine minimizer is another experience, just like the fertility period. There's a body shaper, there's a toxin eliminator, there's a whole set of experiences in there for you to choose from, making it all simple and easy for you. And the beauty
So
of this is
in terms of locations for the stores, you're just getting started. How many store locations are currently in place?
we've just literally, in fact, we're just soft opening our first one. So less than one, I guess I want to say at this point. It'll take us about 4 months to fully open the store. I mean, we go from 0 people working there to 64 people, and we're at 17 or 18 people. And of course, all those people have to be trained and the whole process and everything we do. So we're estimating 4 or 5 months before our first location will be fully opened. And,
Okay.
we're always listening to the consumer. What's their experience like? What do we need to do differently? We're, of course, debugging our own technology that we built from the ground up and working through all those things. After we get that done and perfected, then we'll start scaling.
When up and running, where will that first store be located?
It's in Southwest Denver, in terms of the suburbs, out in the Littleton area, 470 and Ken Carl Ranch Road.
Now, you always have those entrepreneurs that say, "Hey, I want to be first in line. I love what you're doing." And if they want to, maybe even beta test, how would they? Are there beta testers for you?
Well, the only way you can really test this is to come to our store at this point, because
Yeah.
the only thing we're actually open for is from 11 to 8 o'clock at night for lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. And we, over this period of the next 4 months, then continue to open up our full resources. When we're done in full scale in that store, you'll be able to order from home. You can order in advance with routed delivery. So in the most beautiful situation, and we think most of our consumers will just embrace our service really 24/7. So you just go on your app, and you order your meals in advance, about a day and a half to 2 days in advance. And like the old milkman routes you and I probably remember, we show up every day with a beautiful Youtopia cooler. We put it on your front porch with your food in it. It's all plated on china plates, porcelain china plates, ready to go in your microwave to be heated. It's completely cooked. It turns out incredibly delicious. You just simply eat it. I'm pretty sure you don't like doing the dishes either. When you're done eating, you just put the dishes right back in the cooler, set the cooler back outside. We pick it up, drop off a new cooler every day with your fresh food. All of our food is made from scratch, fresh and locally every day. We've blocked out 238 not nutrients. We blocked out 238 poisons, toxins, and those kind of things. And our meals are very nutrient dense.
Now, Utopia, phonetically, you can spell it different ways. You can spell it with a Y, or you can spell it with a U. How do you spell Utopia?
We say we are U-built, Y-O-U built as a company, and so we spell Utopia, Y-O-U-T-O-P-I. Utopia with the U, the definition is an imaginary perfect place in the universe, right? And so what we're working on at Utopia, we're a group of people that have come together with shared core values. We're aligned. And candidly, Alan, we love you and we love every other person. So our lives are built around you. In fact, our mission statement as a company is kind of strange in lieu of this incredibly capitalistic-oriented world. And it's to help you monetize and maximize your resources on your behalf. So we're
Yep.
focused on what would be good for Alan, for example, or any other person we're talking about.
Is your website up and running right now, Ken?
It is, Youtopia.com.
Okay. Well, good. Well, hey, it's pleasure having you with us and explaining about the new program. It sounds really exciting, and it's going to address a lot of the needs of the people with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, in a proactive way. I want to take one step further, though. When you're looking into the future in life, and let's say you go all the way to end of life, Ken, what do you want to be known for?
Fundamentally, giving everything I have to love other people. So Youtopia is built out of my wife's and my absolute core of just loving and caring about other people. And hopefully what we've shown is our kids, we have 5 grown kids with 4 of them married, 11 grandkids, but also many, many thousands or millions of others, that what Youtopia brought to the world is one of the 10 biggest transformations in mankind's history. And we changed the trajectory on health and wellness for everybody. My personal measurement of success in life is when I get to heaven, if God says, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." So my core focus is on everything I think, do, say, where I put my activity, where I put my energy, is am I serving God and bringing glory to God? So that's my personal measurement of success. And if I'm known for that, that would be a huge blessing if it blesses others.
Beautifully said. Ken, thanks for being on today's show.
You're welcome, Alan. Thanks for having me. Take care.